our 25th episode. This is actually our 26th episode, but it's number 25.
Yay, us!
Yeah, a centennial of some sort. A quarter centennial. Hi, I'm Alicia, also known as AQ47, and you can also find me on Instagram as lupinehook.
I am Liz, also known as Lizzie215 on Ravelry. Yeah, I still haven't looked up my Instagram.
She doesn't want you to find her.
No, I don't post anything there. So even if you found me, it'd be very boring.
I tell her, oh yeah, I posted it to Instagram. Okay, I didn't look.
Yeah,
I haven't been on.
Exactly. So
this is Looping About, and we come to you from Seattle, Washington, which is in the northwest corner of the U.S. And it's beautiful. We've gotten warm while everybody else is getting cold in the rest of the states.
no, we're what we should be.
We're normal.
We're normal.
We're warm compared to everybody else.
Yeah, we're right.
So
where we
high
should be.
50s.
Yeah.
Sunny. It's been raining lately, so we've gotten some snow up in the mountains, which I've been enjoying. Have you gone out to the mountains yet? The other
No.
ones to show them snow or anything?
No, I haven't, but
Your house did.
my husband did.
Okay.
He had a tubing event for work, so
Okay.
he took minion number 1,
Brilliant.
and
She was probably thrilled.
they had a great time tubing. But I mean, it was one of those like not so nice Seattle days where it was rain. You know, it was like sleet,
Overcast and
yeah, and like sleet up on the mountain. So she lasted about an hour,
Okay.
and then she's like, "Can we go get hot
Now
cocoa?"
we're done.
We're done. So they didn't end up getting hot cocoa though. The next picture from the picture of a sequence of events that I saw was them eating huge ass ice cream cones.
She must have warmed up real fast.
Yeah, like
She
the
could have
ice
ice
cone.
cream.
The ice cream cone was the size of my daughter's head. Well, they were back down the mountain. They went to Scott's Dairy Freeze
Oh, yeah,
in North Bend, which
Yeah.
is like classic. Here, everyone goes to Scott's
It's like
Dairy.
15 minutes from your house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then she's got this ice cream cone the size of her head. I'm like, okay, yeah, but they had a good.
Perfect winter day.
They had a good fun. Well, yeah. Apparently, Seattle ingests more ice cream than any other part of the country, even though we're like one of the coldest. So
Yeah.
imagine that.
There's always a reason to drink, and there's always a reason to have ice cream.
Yep.
In the Northwest.
So yeah, so she went and she had a good time. No, I haven't braved the cold. I'm not a cold weather person. I like it. For me, it's like I just need to get over the hump of getting out there. Once I'm out there,
Once I've acclimated, I'm okay.
once I'm out there and I have a good time, I'll have a good time. But
It's motivating.
it's
to get
motivating to like get all the gear, pack
Uh-huh.
up and stuff. That it just
there. This year has been worse for my circulation.
right.
So-
You and I suffer from bad
Yeah.
bad circulation in our extremities. So
Yeah, so I need to be more careful. Even my climbing shoes are too cold, so I have to I put it in the sauna before I go climbing because there's a sauna at our climbing gym. Has to warm up or my feet will fall off. So how's the knitting? It's been a couple weeks. You were sick last week?
I was sick last week. Nothing bad. Not
Those
dying
darn
of the
kids.
flu. Just one of the it's every other week I have a cold, and last week was one of the I couldn't talk. So even if I had been I didn't feel that bad, but
You had closed captioning.
yeah, my voice was horrible. So so we're all fine now. This is just the calm before the storm. I'm sure minion number 1 will bring home another germ.
She's got too many friends.
From preschool.
Yeah.
And we will have next cold will start next week.
So this might be a every other week kind of thing during the winter time.
Yeah. In the wintertime.
Yeah. Any FOs?
I have Hexipuff. Hold
Okay.
on somewhere. I finished 2 because it's been 2
we're
weeks.
in the 3rd week, so you have done 3 for 3
3
weeks.
yes, 3. So I did 2.
Awesome. So this is thesis knitting. This is supposed to take forever.
Yes.
And she is making the beekeeper's quilt.
Yes. As a college blanket from both my minions. And so I made 2.
Awesome. Do you know what these are?
Nope. Well, I know this one is. This one is Schmitzerella.
Oh yeah, that's from your Girl
Yeah.
on Fire socks.
Yeah, this one is, I got it from somebody.
Something, somewhere.
Some swap, somewhere.
It's self-striping, we can say that.
Yeah. So I have 2, so I'm up to 3 this year. I'm on track.
Yes, you are. I worked on my thesis because I've had, it turns out anytime I make a cardigan for Sean, our world gets a little stressed out. So even this morning, Sean's like, no more cardigans for me. When you're done with my sweater, no more sweaters. Let's just do socks. because, yeah, the stress has been high. So when I have stress in my world, it lingers in the knit. So I put it away. Like, I didn't want to have to put his cardigan away because it needed to be in timeout. So I've just been knitting on whatever is in my fancy for the day. So that meant I got back to my scrap blanket. So this is the 10-stitch blanket, and it is by Frankie Brown. Last you saw,
how big it is. It's almost a lap throw.
It keeps me warm now. Last you saw, I was just starting this guy. So it was some self-striping. I have no idea. Maybe it was from one of the people in the group that we all know. Could be. And then I said, you know what? My partner from O-Loops, she was in your house, but we did a swap within the O-Loops Harry Potter thing, and she sent me a bunch of minis. So I decided to knit all the minis she sent me. I got all but one. So this is the first one. This is Ollie and Ren, and it is Curse, Ren and Ollie's sock. So it's a speckle with black and gray and green and blue. It's a big little mini skein. A big mini skein.
Yeah.
And then the next one, this purple, got to a corner. And that one is an unknown colorway, but it's from Rendezvous Forever sock. And then Sean's cowlet that I made last year needed to be here. I needed a blue, a light blue. A lot of the colors she sent me were dark, which is totally my jam. But I needed something to break up what was going on.
I love how it's looking.
I'm really loving this knit, guys. I can't tell you enough how much I love this 10-stitch blanket. Look it up. See if it's something you want. Love it. This is an O-Loops colorway in the carriage base, which I've never used before. And it actually looks like it might have little tweed flecks in it. And this one's called Dan Aykroyd and Jim Belushi. Isn't that great? And it kind of striped. So it's like a golden color with some gray. And then
it kind of striped. It did stripe.
It definitely looks like it could be a self-striping, but that's a variegated colorway. It just happened to be in the right sequence. This is another Ren and Ollie sock. This one's called Apostrophe. And it's got purple and pinks and blues in it. And then this guy, which I just finished last night, is another Ren and Ollie sock. And this is called Lollipop. And it kind of reminds me of candy corn. So it's kind of like an October kind of colorway. And I thought it went really well in that corner. I needed to brighten things up a little bit. It got a little dark for a while in that corner. So the next color, the last one in my little goodie bag, is Ren and Ollie, and this is Metropolis. So it's got purple and blue and gray in there. Gorgeous. So thank you so much, Allison. You did so awesome. I loved every single mini. I'm glad it brought me right back into my mini blanket. I'm gonna try to work on that more because I did a swap with a fellow Ravenclaw from the Harry Potter. She sent me a little box of goodies. And it's such a cute box that I think it's gonna motivate a lot of things. It's got like a magnet on it. Isn't that special? I love boxes. I don't know if you know this about me. Liz knows. But I have a thing for boxes. So she sent me a whole box of little minis. So excited. So I sent her, gosh, I think 16 or 17 minis for her blanket. It made me go through and just reminiscing about old knits, right? So she wrote what she had made with each of her minis, and so on mine I wrote all the things that, what project it was. I sent some pink from this. I sent a lot of dark colors. I looked at the box when I filled it up and I thought, man, I'm sensing a theme here. And so then when I was working on this, I decided, ooh, I need to put some splashes of light colors in here because it's not really my thing. I really like saturated dark colors, if you can already tell. All the things that are mine are saturated and dark. So thankfully, swaps are really helping me out with colors that I wouldn't gravitate towards,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So that's been fun. What have you looked at all your hexapuffs together to see if you have a theme?
No, mine are a smorgasbord, probably because I get stuff from you.
Mhm.
And while you and I are pretty similar, you do tend to have some neon colors that
I
Sean
do,
likes,
yeah.
so those end up in the blanket.
For sure.
And then with all the swaps, yeah, I don't have a theme, which is awesome.
Now, are you gonna theme the blanket towards which minion it's going to?
Well, I don't have to worry about that until I actually put the blanket together. Now I can just knit hexy puffs and then
it's just
sort them after.
put it in a jar somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I did finish my knit miscus, but I can't show you.
Okay.
So I do have another finished object.
And how much did you use?
I ended up using, I think, about 400 yards.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it called for?
DK. It called for 450. I think the knitter, again, the pattern, I'm not sure the measurements and stuff are quite right.
Accurate, too.
Because I was able to get pretty close to her measurements after blocking.
Yeah.
And her pattern had called for 450. But she did use worsted.
Yeah.
So
and you used DK.
I used DK.
Okay.
So, I mean, there's the that. And I didn't want to make it too big because my partner doesn't seem to like.
She seems a bit petite.
Yeah, it seemed a bit petite and did not, doesn't seem like she would be a big shawl person. So I was okay with it coming out like an inch and a half shorter than the measured. From the measured pattern.
Yeah. What the pattern said.
Yeah, what the pattern said.
Hi.
So,
Molly's decided to say hello to Liz.
I'm excited to have it done, and now I just need to go pick up a couple of goodies.
Extras for the box.
I'm not going overboard, but I do want to include 2 or 3 things, and then I'll put it in the mail, hopefully at the latest by Wednesday.
Well, since we're talking about knit miss, I might as well show you my finished piece. So last you saw me, I was just getting into the purple.
That's beautiful.
Oh, this was such a fun knit. And the construction's amazing. So you start at this end, right? And you're thinking, oh, okay, really long shawl, cool. Well, when you actually get it done, it's asymmetrical with a couple points, which is kind of fun. And it's huge. I blocked it out huge, just in case my knit miss partner likes it. And it's super easy to wear. It's big. You can cuddle it up with it, or you could probably wind it a little bit tighter, right? That's gonna be warm. So yeah, I used Brew City yarn, and I used Mad Tosh. Now one of these bled. I'm thinking it's the Mad Tosh, but it didn't bleed into any of the other colors. So these Brew Cities must have been saturated and cured. And the purple didn't bother it in the wash. But I will leave a note in there for my knit miss partner to say, when you wash this again, put in a catcher, because I didn't have one. I don't have those things, I'm sorry. So I didn't stop any of the madness, but I did rinse it twice, and it was still showing some color in the wash. But that's done. That's Harlequin, and that was by Frauke Neubauer. Super fun knit. I thought, oh, I'm gonna get to this color change, and then that part's gonna decrease, right? Decreases to there. But you're not really decreasing stitches. So you go to a max number of stitches, and then you maintain that max number of stitches for the rest of your 140 grams. So it's a lot of stitches for a very long time. But the pattern does change, and it's done some fun things. I really enjoyed the knit. It's mindless until you do the little eyelet rows. And even that, once you've done a couple of them, you know what you need to do for the rest. So it was super easy, super fun. I was glad that it was accommodating to 3 colors, even though in the pattern it's only 2. Really, really loved the knit. Really loved the knit. And it came out to 240 grams. So that was my first FO for the knit along with Zombie Apocalypse.
Cool.
Yeah. How are you doing on that? Are you going to show your thing after it's been delivered on your team?
My knit miss? I haven't even looked at the zombie knit pockets.
Oh, okay.
I will admit, I can only think of one KAL at the time, so I need to remember to take a picture.
Yes, yes. And we're hoping that your Knitmas partner sends you an FO picture so that you can put that on as your FO, because I would like my partner's picture to be the FO. So I hope she doesn't mind when she gets it, that she'll send me a picture. And the thread is open. It's been wild the last couple of days. People are chatting like crazy. We've seen some sneak peeks of some finished objects, so go out there and see what's going on. Maybe your partner has posted your finished object that you're getting as a Secret Santa in the mail. I have heard that we want to do this annually.
I have heard that too.
Are you interested?
Yeah, sure, why not? I can do an annual gift.
Because this one didn't stress me out, even though, like, you know, I like to have some weird added pressure to my knits. And that didn't stress me out a bit. And actually, the last couple knits I've been making for other people haven't felt like any other obligation knit. And I don't know if it's because I'm doing a swap with someone else that's knitting for me and I knit for them. It feels different, and I haven't had that stall out that says, I don't really want to knit on that right now. Nope. I was motivated the entire time on both of the last two shawls that I finished. So I'm pretty stoked. I will do it again. I will be happy to host it again in the group. So if you guys are interested in doing this again, please confirm that you want to play, and I will be sure that you guys are hot linked when that comes about in October. So that's a while out. Rest your needles for obligation knitting. Okay. Well, it looks like you picked up an old whip.
I did. I'm still working on the part of your world shawl. Okay. And I did start ink, but it's kind of very intricate, and I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to pull it out, so it's not...
Because it's using twisted stitches. So you have to knit one and purl the other.
Yeah, and so that's not easy.
Until you get into the rhythm of that, it's not easy to fix. Complicated. Yeah.
So I right now would rather work on Part of Your World. Part of Your World is very easy to read, and I'm on just a knit and purl section. As this side,
this is my favorite section.
As this side tries to catch up to this side, the height. So we're just gonna work on that.
Smooth sailing. It's garter in the.
Yeah, it's garter
right now.
Yeah, the only thing that makes it a little different, you just have to remember to like knit two together at the end.
Correct.
So we're doing that.
Okay.
It took me a while to figure out.
What was going on.
Where I was.
Well, yes.
I had a row, but I didn't put what body section I was. So I was counting. I'm like, there's 23 stitches. Okay, I must be here. Hopefully I'm
She's not gonna do that again.
No, next time I will put the body in.
Notes, more notes. I can't tell future me that enough.
Yeah.
Because past me has...
So the colorways is a kit we got when we were in Fiberista. I had the Volcano Sunrise colorway, but because this shawl called for a little more yarn than I had this great, very large mini that Annetta had sent me.
Or Kim.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Annetta, because it was the Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes, right. I think it was something knocker or something.
Yeah, so I've been using, it worked perfectly in my color scheme. So I threw it in, and now hopefully I will finish this shawl, because I'm starting to get to the point where I'm having too much stuff on the needles, and it's stressing me out.
Yeah, it's nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it's stressing me out, because then I'm like, what do I work on? What do I work on? What do I work on? What do I work on?
And I'm getting no progress on anything.
And you're getting no progress on anything. So this is the furthest along thing that I have.
So you want to finish it?
I want to finish it.
Yeah. Now, that's not going to count for the Zombie Knit Apocalypse, because you started it last year sometime. But that's okay. She's got one finished object.
I don't care about the zombie. I'm like,
She's like, I just want to finish things.
I just want to finish things. If it fits into a KL, that's fine. If it doesn't, oh well.
No big deal.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I have a couple things. Because remember I told you I was stressed? So I've been working on all the things. So I'm making a cardigan for Sean.
Right, with the baby blue.
So feel those. Can you tell which yarn I don't like? Try that. Do they not feel drastically different to you?
I mean, they feel different, but neither of them feels bad.
This one feels really rough, comparatively. Like this one's super squishy and bouncy and fun, which is the Three Irish Girls.
Okay, yeah.
I love 3 Irish Girls.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know.
Yeah,
what
I think this
this
would feel stiffer, but it doesn't feel bad.
I have been stuck doing Plucky, which it says Superwash Merino, and it's 90/10. So you would think there's more superwash in this one than the 3 Irish Girls, so it would be softer. It's not.
No, it's actually, it's not the, I don't think it's the wool that makes it
I
soft.
think it's the dye. Like, I don't think the dye has been completely washed out.
Okay.
That's what I think I'm going to find out. So I think it's going to soften when we wash it.
No, I mean, it doesn't feel that bad.
It feels drastically
different.
different.
The way she talked about it,
I hate it.
She hates
it. Absolutely hate it. So I've been stuck in this stripe. Yes, I know my grays are different. We talked about this last time, and I'll talk about it again. But I put an extender on my thing. Can you see it in there? There's a stiff extender in there that comes with Addy Clicks is the set that I used on this, the interchangeable. So I'm knitting on a smaller cord, but I just put in a longer one. So you can kind of see the whole thing, right? And that's where I was last time. It's a top-down cardigan. It's called Emmeline, and it's by Ariane Karen Lacosta. Hers is two color stripes. I'm going to be playing Yarn Chicken, and we discussed it last time. I'm using 3 Irish Girls, which is the dark gray, and most of my blue skeins are 3 Irish Girls. The other one is 716 Knits. Those are all from ZK purchases, or they were in our goodie bag. And all those people are coming back this year. So I can use all of this except for the Plucky that I'm on right now, which is this light gray, is going to qualify for extra bonus in that knit along. So I'm one increase away from dropping the sleeves. But I don't know if it's going to fit Sean. So I might have to go up a size than I was intending. I've added some more crazy skeins, so I should maybe have enough yarn. This is a hoodie. So I have a provisional cast on up here, and I will pick that up, and it'll be a blue stripe when I pick that up. I'm holding fingering double because this is a DK weight cardigan. What else can I tell you about it? Raglan, super easy. Everybody has the same cast on, and then the different sizes is just you increase to a different number. So super simple. And then as soon as I drop off the sleeves, it just says do the body for 15 inches.
Well, that's easy. That's easy once you get to that part.
Yeah. Now it's going to be zipper. This will be my first zipper cardigan. I don't know if I'm going to do it. I'm going to go find somebody to do it for me. Sean loves this blue. When he saw that was in my goodie bag, he claimed it as his. And I said, that's cool, because I was here to pick up cardigan stuff for you anyway, and I was looking for 2 colors, and it worked out. So the next color is going to be this guy. I'm going to hold that double. Everything I have is fingering for this DK weight, so I'm holding everything double. The first stripe was Marco Polo, which is 3 Irish Girls, and the Ensko Marching, which is 3 Irish Girls held together. And then the other blues will be held double by themselves because they're going to be about the same. Cool. I have gray, which I'm holding double. That is 3 Irish Girls. And then I have this gray. See, they're a little bit different, which is Plucky, which is Fisherman's Wharf. I don't know if I think I'm getting to the second skein because for one stripe, I've used a lot of the skein. I think it'll be about 30 grams that it takes to make a stripe. So we'll see. I'm going to be playing Yarn Chicken with everything. So wish me luck. We'll see how it goes. So that's a cardigan that I'm working on for our knit along, which is all garment knitting. So if you have 716, 3 Irish Girls, Plucky, any of those yarns qualify for our knit along. She's using Sweet Georgia.
Yes.
Amazing. She's got a teal colorway that she's using.
I have it. I can show it.
Oh,
I brought it.
Yeah.
And so I did start. I started the collar. I've got an 1.5 inches. Like I said, it's gonna be slow going.
Yeah.
So you
start
work the
to see the
collar out.
cable.
This is the center of the collar. You work it out one way, and then you work it out the other. But
so she's making this little band right here.
yes.
And then it'll grow into a raglan. It's a really cool construction if you guys have ever thought of doing ink. And that's by Hada Knits. And you can use any of Hada Knits stuff. You can use my Karen Lacosta as your designer, and you can knit along with us. You can do any garment. Baby, big, huge, man. I'm doing man. You're doing woman. She's gonna do kids ones pretty soon. I'll probably do a couple kids ones. There's babies coming in the world this year that probably need some cardigans. And yeah, it's a very open knit along. So if you want to knit, join us because your things will probably qualify. Whips are allowed.
Yes.
She had started ink a while ago, but she didn't think she would make gauge, right?
Right.
So she started all over again. But she could have just continued on where it was.
I could have, but I figured it would be easier to start. Give me a fresh start.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes that's motivating in itself, is
Yeah.
that you see it growing from nothing. Yeah. Okay. So my second cast on for the month, I guess it's my third cast on for the month, socks. So these socks are for Dad. These are called Earl Grey, and that's by Carrie Bloomer. Now, it's kind of well, usually my sock patterns are free. This one was $6, but you get Lady Grey and you get Earl Grey. So, you see the texture in there? It's made with pearls. The texture made in the Lady Grey is with yarn overs. So you can make a feminine version or you can make a masculine version. There's a cable that runs down the front of both. And then it's just, you know, textured rib on the back. I started up top. So these are for my dad. My dad wears size 11 feet. He doesn't wear size 11 feet. He has size 11 feet. So I need more than a skein because this main skein, which is self-striping by Fishnets, and I think it's called something about jeans, Weekend Jeans, 80, 20, 400 yards. The last thing I made him had 437 yards in it, and I had to stripe the toe box. So I decided I'm going to just do a contrasting cuff in gray. Now, this is not coordinating. Like, this is not fishnets. This is lollipop yarn. Now, lollipop yarn is a self-striping, and the one that I bought came with a coordinating skein, which, for me, I don't need a coordinating skein for the size of my foot. So I decided, oh, he can use my coordinating skein, and then I can use all 400 yards of my fishnets for the body, and then do the toe box in also the coordinating gray. So that's the plan for that. I have gotten past the gusset. Just finished the gusset. Love these stripes. So last year you saw that I made Sean stripy socks that gradiated, like a pink to a red, and then a light gray to a charcoal. Well, this is doing the same kind of gradient, only the blues aren't together and the grays aren't together. They're gradiating in their different directions, right? And every other stripe is gray or blue. So super happy with this. Super fun knit, really easy to read. It is a $6 pattern right now, but you get 2 patterns. So I don't like to repeat patterns, but they might be different enough that I might do the Lady Grey for me, because that's my favorite tea ever, and then this Earl Grey for Dad. Super stretchy. I am on US 1.5s. They're fast, but they're much looser. Like, I don't think this is going to last as long as his first sock. His first sock is an MCN. So maybe that's not going to last very long either. But he gets special socks from me. But it's faster because there's 72 stitches that I'm doing on 1.5s. Or 2.5s. US 1.5s, which is 2.5 millimeters. I usually knit on zeros, and for my dad, that would be 80 stitches or more. I didn't even write down what the last one was. It was so many stitches, I didn't want to do that again. So for Dad, I think I'm going to stay on US 1.5s. So I cast on one more thing. I decided to go through and find all my ZK stash. So all my Knitpocalypse from 2015, 16, and 17. This is my 4th year. So I went diving in my stash and I put them all together. Well, from that picture, which I posted, I think we have a ZK thread in the group. I realized, hey, there's a couple of skeins in there that would go together, and they will qualify because they were all bought at ZK, or they're vendors that are going to return. And I found 3 things that looked awesome. So this is Leading Men Fiber Arts. This one is Breaking Ground, which is Dramaturg. This is 100% superwash, and it's plied. So it's a brown, nice brown color. This is Seaweed. This is Playbill, which you get a little less yardage, still 100% superwash merino, but it's a single. So single ply, as you can see, it's just, you know, a thick, woolly goodness right there. Super squishy, awesome. Their colorways are gorgeous. Well, I had something else that had both of those colors, and this is by Cloud Lover. Now, they're not coming back to ZK this year, but I bought it at ZK 2016. And it's called DK, as in something's dying. 75% merino, 25% nylon, 460 yards, which means it's fingering. Are you noticing that? And these were DK because they were about 240 to 250. So I'm holding this one double, and it's gonna go green, DK, and then that guy, the brown. Okay, so I started Jody. Have you guys checked that out? The Grocery Girls, Jody, they have some namesakes made by Hoki Locatelli. And this is the start. This was last night. I knit for about, I don't know, an hour and a half and got a good chunk done. It's going super fast. It's on US 7s. I had to go borrow these needles from a very old thing that I might knit on this year because it's a garment. I hope so. It's a cute little jacket. I should probably pick it up, but it'll have to be after I finish this Jody shawl. So this takes almost the entirety of 3 skeins. So I'm very excited. I'm going to alter this first color because I hear people are running out of the second color. And my second color's only got 230 yards if you hold this double as a fingering weight. That color amazing. There's some copper and some teal and brown. So happy with that skein. I was gonna do Suburban Stitcher that I bought this past year, but I had 2 purples and then a speckle. And the way that the Jody is, it's 3 distinct colors. So I thought about going purple, speckle, purple, but I think this is gonna work better. So I'm excited about that. These were bought a couple years ago, and I bought them specifically for a different pattern. A couple, God, it must have been many episodes ago, we talked about certain construction that fit a certain body type. And I discovered that yoked sweaters is not a construction for broad shoulders. And I have extremely broad shoulders. And I've got pretty big arms in this section, right? So yokes get caught in the armpit, and their armholes are just not big enough for my dimension. So sadly, what I was collecting for was for a colorwork yoked sweater. And I could be sad about it, but then I decided, no, I'm going to find a great pattern that will use them in a different way. So that's the Jody shawl for me. I'm using 2 of the 6 colors I had. I was going to make that Tin Can Knits, I think it's called North Shore, and it has mountains and trees and water, and then the rest is solid. I really, really, really fell in love with that. And this was going to be water, and this was going to be mountains. So they are going together in a different knit, and I'm super stoked about it. And I will just have to find more things for the what was to be North Shore into something that I can wear. And I'm sure you can change the yoke. Like maybe you go up a size, but my chest isn't going to play along with that. So I'm just going to be wearing something huge up here, and then I'm going to have to taper it really far down again to make it fit my body. And so I feel like it'll just be like a balloon and then fitted. It'll be weird. So I'm not going to do it. I'm over it. I'm accepting the fact that I can't do yoked. But I am thinking that swanchos would work.
Ooh.
Right? And that's not very fitted at all. It's intended to be like a dress down here, so if I went bigger, it's not going to hurt anybody's feelings. So that's a thought for those who have done swancho. What do you think? Does that seem like sound logic to you? Maybe. Anything else you're working on?
Nope.
Because I think that was all my things that I was working on.
That's all the things I'm working on too.
Anything you got in the mail?
Nope, I'm helping good. It's what are we? We're 22 days into the new year, and I haven't bought anything new.
Because it's not Ravelry worthy.
It's not Ravelry worthy, so we're gonna leave it at that.
She hasn't added to her stash on Ravelry, guys, so therefore she hasn't added in real life stash.
Nope.
So you're not gonna put any past stash up there.
Nope. Is that yours?
Yeah,
okay.
I broke a needle a couple months ago.
Nope.
It's still here to
How
remind
about you?
me. Nope, no purchases.
So, yep, 20 days in, we're good.
Yeah.
Let's see how long I last.
I'm working from stash. Mentioned a lot of it today. It's been good. It's been really good. Oh yeah, all this qualifies. All of this is ZK qualifications. I'm very excited. And I'm having so much fun with this Jody shawl, guys. I think Annetta has joined me. Actually, I think I talked her into it, and then she cast on
I think
before
I
I
talked
did.
her into it. I love it.
I like to, motivate other people's knittings.
You just want...
So that it will coincide with mine.
Yeah, you just want company.
I just want company. I don't like to knit by myself. While I'm knitting by myself, literally, figuratively, I'm not knitting by myself. So that's all we have to show you guys. It's been 2 weeks. We've done some knitting.
Yes.
And we will return as long as Liz is not sick.
Yeah. True. So true.
So until we knit again, bye guys.
Bye.